What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I have a bit of a discussion video for you guys. I wanted to talk about Bronny James and how good he is, as he recently just made his 2021 debut, playing some games for Sierra Canyon and then moving on to the AAU season. Obviously Bronny was out with a torn meniscus, and I don't believe he played at all in the 2020 summer at all due to COVID. So it's been a long time since we've seen him play, about a year, maybe a little bit more than that. And so he looks healthy, he looks 100%, and some parts of his game have changed, some parts are still the same. And so I kind of just want to talk about how good he is. Should he start moving up the rankings now that he's playing? Is he kind of at the spot in the rankings where he may stay kind of for the rest of his high school career? I wanted to get into stuff like that, and most importantly, I wanted to hear what you guys have to say about it, because I know you guys always have a lot to say. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So like I said in the intro, Bronny is coming back from a torn meniscus. This is something that could be concerning, I guess you could say, just because it's never good to see someone so young dealing with knee issues. That's not a good thing, and it's kind of something that normally doesn't go away. Normally when you have issues that young with your knees, that's something that kind of stays with you throughout your career. And so hopefully that doesn't happen to Bronny. The only positive or good thing I guess you could say about it is that it wasn't something like a torn ACL, something that required major surgery and set him back in that way. And so we see people come back from torn meniscuses all the time. Hopefully it's just a one-time thing, and it's not something that continues to linger throughout his career. Now, getting into how he looked in terms of physical abilities on the court when he returned, he looks really good. He's way more athletic than he was, previously in the year before his freshman year. He's throwing down crazy dunks and warm-ups. He's dunking in game now in different ways. Normally, when we saw him dunk, it was off 1 foot, fast breaks, things like that. I saw him throw down, kind of a two-hand drop step type dunk. Something I've never seen him do before. So I would say that his knee's healthy, and if his knee wasn't healthy, I'm not sure why he'd be out there. So I would say physically he's back at 100%. He looks good, jumping like I said, crazy, and he just looks like top tier, one of the best athletes at his position, point guard, in his class. And so that's really good to see coming back from the torn meniscus that he had. Now, in terms of his height, I think this is something that a lot of people were pretty curious about, as this off-season there were photos of him that surfaced or were posted or whatever that made him look kind of crazy tall, like he was 6'6" or something like that. And with him not playing, in the summer, and no real footage of him playing basketball at all, people were wondering, if he had grown to that height or if he was still growing. Unfortunately, I guess you could say it looks like he's still the same height he was as a freshman. If I had to guess, 6'2", 6'3", that's about what he looks like he is. Recruiting websites, which are sometimes slow to update, but they still have him at 6'2" or 6'3", depending on the website. So that kind of looks like what his height is. And if I had to guess, he would probably be done growing if he hasn't grown from his freshman to sophomore year. It's still possible that he could grow. Obviously, his dad's 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is. But just, I guess, based on the fact that he hasn't grown this last year, I would say chances are he's probably done growing. Maybe another inch, something like that, but I don't think he's going to get to that 6'8", 6'9" that his dad is. Now that we've talked kind of about him physically, in terms of his on-court, this is kind of an area where it's still pretty disappointing. He plays really passively. He, I guess you could say kind of plays like his dad in a sense, that he just kind of wants to make the right play all the time, get his teammates involved. But unlike, his dad, he just doesn't seem to have that ability to score the ball. He just kind of takes shots whenever they're there in transition, or when he gets an open look in the half court, but he's really not aggressive looking for a shot, which is really disappointing, like I said, because it really looks like he's moving well athletically. He's got, a decent frame at 6'3". Looks like he's got, really long arms. Not sure what his wingspan is. but he's got a good build to him, and I think he could definitely be more aggressive going to the hoop, creating off the dribble for himself and looking for his own shot. This is something that I've seen a lot of people talking about here since he started playing again, is that they're pretty disappointed in that. And I've seen him kind of get compared to someone like Lonzo Ball in the sense that he shows enough flashes where you're like, man, he could be like really good, like he's got that ability. And then he's got other games or moments where you're like, dude, you gotta be more aggressive, you gotta give us more. And so that's kind of the vibes I'm getting from him, right now. Obviously, coming back from an injury, maybe he's still feeling it out, but he's always kind of had that game where he's looking to pass, looking to get teammates involved, and he's always played on such good teams where that's just what he's had to do. He's got other good teammates that can do things for him. He doesn't have to be the guy to score 20, 30 points for the team to win. He's got other guys that are capable of doing that, and so he's just fine getting them involved. But like I said, it's kind of disappointing because he shows you these flashes where he can do stuff, and so it's disappointing. Hopefully he gets more aggressive, he gets that mentality, because I think he can be good at doing that. I think it's just gonna have to be a mentality switch for him to do that. And lastly, in terms of ranking and can he move up, well, he's currently ranked somewhere in the 30 range. Kind of depends on the website you look at. I was looking at 24/7 Sports and they had him at 30th. And I definitely think that he could move up, especially if he grows. Obviously, if he's still growing, I think he's got tons of potential. He's got potential either way. He's really an elite level athlete for like the point guard position, especially at his size at 6'2", 6'3". He's really turned himself into an elite level athlete, and someone who I think for sure has the potential to be someone who's top 10 in his class. I don't think that's something crazy or out of the box for him. Do I think he's the top player in his class? No. Especially if he doesn't grow. If he stays this height, I could see him in the 10-ish range, somewhere in there. Just because obviously he's got all the resources to get better. He's got the genetics to do it. I just don't know if that mentality and the way that he plays the game is quite gonna get him over the edge, and make him a top 5 prospect in his class. I just don't know if that's it. But I definitely think that if it comes together for him, and he puts it all together, I could see him being a top 10 player in his class easily. And if he grows, then anything could happen. But those are just kind of my thoughts on him. I think he's a good player. I think he's got a lot of potential. I just think that I would love to see him get more aggressive and look for his shot and look to create for himself a little more. And we'll see if that happens. But definitely top 10 player in his class potential. If he grows, top 5, maybe even the number 1 spot, who knows. But leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about him. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.